Hi, everyone, and welcome to this important training session on the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act 2013. Did you know that creating a safe and respectful workplace isn't just good practice? It's the law. The Indian Supreme Court has made it mandatory for every business and organization in India to be POSH compliant. This is a training video on the Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act. Training employees on POSH is a critical part of compliance, and it's essential for all of us to understand what the POSH Act is, why it matters, and how we can contribute to creating a safer workplace. In this session, we'll cover what the POSH Act is, why it's important, what constitutes sexual harassment, how to report harassment effectively, and what our organization is doing to ensure a safe and respectful workplace for everyone. By the end of this training, you'll have the knowledge and tools to help create a workplace where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued. So let's get started. What is the POSH Act? Let's start with the basics. The POSH Act, enacted in 2013, is a law designed to protect women from sexual harassment at the workplace. Its goal is to ensure that every woman can work in an environment that's safe, respectful, and inclusive. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly counts as sexual harassment? It's not just about physical actions. Sexual harassment can take many forms, including verbal harassment, like making sexually colored remarks, jokes, or comments. Nonverbal harassment, such as showing pornography, making inappropriate gestures, or displaying offensive images. Quid pro quo harassment. This is when someone demands sexual favors in exchange for job benefits or threatens negative consequences if you refuse. The POSH Act applies to all workplaces, whether it's our office, the canteen, client sites, or even transportation provided by the employer. Why is this so important? Because a safe workplace isn't just a legal requirement, it's a moral responsibility. It's about ensuring that everyone can work with dignity and respect. What constitutes sexual harassment? Let's take a closer look at what sexual harassment can look like in the workplace. It's not always obvious, so it's important to understand the different forms it can take. Number 1, physical harassment. This includes unwanted touching, hugging, or any kind of physical contact that makes someone uncomfortable. Number 2, verbal harassment. Think of sexually suggestive comments, jokes, or remarks, even if they're meant as just a joke. Number 3, nonverbal harassment. This could be offensive images, inappropriate messages, or even gestures that make someone feel uncomfortable. Number 4, creating a hostile environment. Any behavior that makes someone feel intimidated, unsafe, or unable to focus on their work. Here are some examples to make it clearer. A colleague making inappropriate comments about your appearance. Someone sending you unwanted messages or images of a sexual nature. A supervisor threatening to fire you unless you comply with their demands. Remember, it's not about the intent behind the behavior. It's about the impact it has on the person experiencing it. If someone feels harassed, it's harassment. How to file a complaint. If you experience or witness sexual harassment, it's important to know how to take action. Here's a step-by-step guide. Number 1, document the incident. Write down the date, time, location, and details of what happened. If there's any evidence, like emails, messages, or witness names, make sure to keep it safe. Number 2, choose a reporting channel. You can submit a written complaint via email, our online portal, or even a complaint box. If you're not comfortable writing it down, you can verbally report the incident to any ICC member, and they'll document it for you. Number 3, confidentiality. Your identity will be protected throughout the process. You don't have to worry about your name being shared without your consent. Number 4, timelines. Complaints should be filed within 3 months of the incident, but this can be extended to 6 months if there's a valid reason. Now that we know how to file a complaint, let's learn about what happens after a complaint is filed. What happens after a complaint is filed? If you file a complaint, here's what you can expect. Step 1, confidentiality. First, your complaint will be handled with strict confidentiality. Your identity will not be disclosed to anyone outside the ICC, Internal Complaints Committee, unless absolutely necessary. Step 2, initial review. The ICC will review your complaint and notify the person accused, the respondent, within 7 days. They will also be informed about the seriousness of the matter and the need for confidentiality. Step 3, fair inquiry. The ICC will conduct a fair and impartial inquiry. This includes gathering evidence, speaking to witnesses, if any, and giving both parties a chance to share their side of the story. The inquiry is typically completed within 90 days. Step 4. Resolution. Once the inquiry is complete, the ICC will recommend appropriate actions. These could include warnings, counseling, transfers, or even termination, depending on the severity of the case. Step 5. Protection from retaliation. The organization ensures that no one faces retaliation for filing a complaint. Your safety and well-being are our top priority. Step 6. Appeal process. If either party is unsatisfied with the outcome, they can appeal within 90 days. Remember, the process is designed to be fair, transparent, and supportive. By speaking up, you're not just standing up for yourself, you're helping create a safer workplace for everyone. Let's look at some real-life scenarios to better understand what constitutes sexual harassment and how to respond. Scenario 1. Situation. A colleague makes a sexually suggestive joke during a team meeting. Question. Is this sexual harassment? Answer. Yes, this is verbal harassment. Politely but firmly tell them it's inappropriate. If it continues, report it to the ICC. Scenario 2. Situation. You receive an inappropriate message from a coworker after work hours. Question. Should this be reported? Answer. Yes. Even if it happens outside the workplace, it's still harassment if it's work-related. Save the message as evidence and report it to the ICC. Scenario 3. Situation. A supervisor offers you a promotion in exchange for a personal favor. Question. Is this harassment? Answer. Yes, this is quid pro quo harassment. Politely decline and report the incident to the ICC immediately. Now that we understand the many forms sexual harassment can take, let's understand some myths and facts about POSH. Myths and facts about POSH. Let's clear up some common misconceptions. Myth 1. Only women can file complaints. Fact. While the POSH Act protects women, organizations can adopt gender-neutral policies. Myth 2. POSH training is optional. Fact. Regular training and awareness programs are mandatory. Myth 3. ICC recommendations are only suggestions. Fact. Employers must act on ICC recommendations within 60 days. Myth 4. POSH doesn't apply to remote work. Fact. It applies to all work-related interactions, including digital platforms. What our organization is doing. Our organization is committed to creating a safe and respectful workplace. Here's what we're doing. ICC formation. We've set up an internal complaints committee to address complaints. POSH policy. Our policy is displayed prominently, and you can access it anytime. Regular training. We conduct workshops to educate employees about their rights and responsibilities. Safe reporting mechanisms. You can report harassment through multiple channels, including anonymous options. Thank you for taking the time to go through this training with me. Remember, creating a safe workplace is a shared responsibility. If you ever experience or witness harassment, don't hesitate to speak up. Your voice matters, and we're here to support you. If you have any questions or need further clarification, feel free to reach out to the ICC or your HR team. Together, we can build a workplace where everyone feels respected, valued, and safe.